We're staying in our interface.dwg file, and what we're going to look at now in the AutoCAD user interface is dialog boxes. Now, you'll be working with lots of different dialog boxes in AutoCAD when you use lots of different commands. I'm actually going to utilize a command called create block. Now, create block allows me to bring up the dialog box where I select some objects that might become an AutoCAD block. Now, we're not going to actually create an AutoCAD block. What I want to do is show you the dialog box when it pops up on the screen so that you kind of know the format of a dialog box in AutoCAD. So I'm going to go to the Insert tab on the ribbon here, like so. And we're still in our interface.dwg file, as we have been for this particular chapter. That won't change. But you'll notice I've got the create block command here on the block definition panel on the ribbon. So if I click on that little flyout there, I've got create block and I've got write block. We're going to select create block. And there's the dialog box. Now, you will get lots of different dialog boxes appear in AutoCAD, as I said previously. So what we would do in this case is we'd give our block a name and we'd set all of the settings in the dialog box. Now, you've got lots of different buttons in an AutoCAD dialog box. You've got things like the radio buttons here, where you might want to retain the original information, convert to block, or delete the original information. You select whichever setting you want to use. You'll also notice that you've got a lot of tick boxes in the block definition dialog box as well, that basically switch things on and off. That's the whole idea of the dialog box, is you're switching on all the variables and the settings that you need. So we may go into the name here, and we might want to create a block of our staircase over here. So we might call this staircase A. So we type in staircase A. We then need to specify a base point. So if I now go to pick point, it'll take me into the drawing, even though I've come out of the dialog box. I'm now in the drawing, and I'll pick a point where I want that staircase to be inserted. I might use that endpoint snap there. As you can see, there's no way I could have guessed the coordinates for that particular staircase. I would then select the objects. Again, I go into the drawing from the dialog box. And I'm not actually going to worry too much about the actual block I'm creating here, but what I might do is click there and drag, and notice there's the lasso option in AutoCAD, and it's selecting objects that I might not need. Hold down Shift on the keyboard and click on the objects you don't want, and they get deselected like so. So what I'll do now is I'll just press enter, and these aren't the objects that I would set for staircase A. I'm just showing you the workflow and the process. And the whole idea is once you've got all the objects that you want, you would then go and click on OK, and it would create that block for you. But the whole idea is that these dialog boxes are very different. This is just one particular dialog box in AutoCAD. But the dialog boxes are there for a reason. You go in and you set all of your settings that way. Now, something else that may happen is you may get a dialog box that you need to expand a little. If you hover over the corners in AutoCAD, you can make these boxes bigger and smaller if you need to, especially when you've got information like long descriptions, or there may be a little graphic in graphic box like that where you need to make it bigger. So if I click and drag, just get that little diagonal arrow on the corner there, you'll notice that that particular window there doesn't get any bigger and the graphic doesn't get any bigger. But when you're previewing drawings, for example, in dialog boxes, you can drag the dialog box and make it bigger so that the little thumbnail image gets bigger, so that it's just a little bit easier to see perhaps. And as you can see, they all have a minimum size. I've dragged that to the left and upwards. That's the smallest size that the block definition dialog box will go to. Now, I'm not going to save that block. I'm going to click on cancel. But as you can see, those dialog boxes are there for your use and for your information. You go in and you set all the settings that you need in the dialog box for the particular command that you're using.